Hello everybody and welcome back. I thought that I would do a follow-up to my Sphynx video. It got a lot of attention, for my channel at least. So I thought I would tell the story about birthing Sphynx kittens. So I'm just gonna try and start this because it's a really long story and we're just gonna try and get right through it. So I have my cat Valerie and I have my cat Calvin. Now I got Valerie first. We got her, she was 3 months old, and then about 6 to 8 months later, roughly, we got Calvin, and he was roughly 3 months old as well, and then they bred when Valerie was probably 1.5 years and Calvin was 1 year. She got pregnant. This is what she looked like. She was super cute. And then the birth. Kevin and I went to Walmart. And when we got home, we noticed there was blood all over the floor. And at this point, she was like due. So I Googled and it said blood, that amount of blood and bleeding and all that wasn't a normal part of pregnancy. We went to the emergency vet because it was after hours and it was on a Thanksgiving weekend. The vet there said that she would be having her kittens soon. So we were like, okay, so we should probably just go home. And then when we went home, we put her in a bed right here, in a heated bed, and it probably wasn't half an hour later, she started screaming. And that's when she had her first kitten, and here's a video.
Holy shit. There's a little baby.
Oh my god.
Come on over and see him.
Oh my god.
Move that book.
She's eating the goo.
Oh, yes, she is.
Like, otherwise we're all puking.
There's one little baby.
And he looks like he's a little gray. Maybe. Like
It was scary. It was gross. It was a lot. It was just a lot. And then, for the first one we named Pearl. This is what she looked like. 45 minutes after her first one, she had her second one. And the second one, we named Samson. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I had to think about it for a second. Probably an hour after the second one was born, the third one was born, which we didn't actually name because she later passed that night. She was actually born at 75 grams, where Pearl was born like 92 grams and Samson was born at like 91 grams. I was kind of concerned at the beginning with her. And at this point, Valerie wasn't producing milk, so we thought she must still have kittens inside her if she's not producing milk yet, so hopefully that just comes soon. After the 3 kittens were born, you know, we try and settle down and we go to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I think. And then I wake up at 6 and she's still not producing milk. So at this point, I'm freaking out because they need to eat.
Obviously.
So we already had KMR in our cupboards just in case. So I heated some of it up and, you know, tried to give it to them in a bottle, and it was a learning curve for me and for them. So it took a bit of getting used to, but we did get through that.
Good kid.
Only after a couple bottle feeds, the smallest kitten, the third one, passed away and we buried her in our garden. So that morning, after the kittens were born, I was hearing this little mewing sound, little cries. I was standing in the door of my bedroom and I could hear the kitten was coming from the bedroom, not from the closet that was right beside me. And I was like, holy shit, did she like move one of her kittens into our room? And I go and look in the closet and all 3 of them are there. So I'm like, holy shit, there's crying coming from the closet. I have to look in. So I look through and I'm digging through our fuzzy onesies that we have stacked on the floor, and I feel a little sack of skin. And I pull out this dark kitten, and we named him Lewis. And man, Lewis, God, what a fighter. Had nothing to eat all night. We didn't even know he was in there. We thought we heard crying sleeping that night, but again, we thought it was coming from the closet, so we just ignored it. We didn't really think anything of it. Oh my God. So anyway, we got him. He was all good. Here's all of them together. Everybody was a big happy family. Throughout the whole day, it was just bottle feeding and hoping Valerie, you know, nurses them soon. And, you know, bottle feeding was every 3 hours. It was just a lot. And then later on that day, about 36, 37 hours after the birth, walking by her room, we cleaned out a closet for her to have a little cat room. She had a kitten, a newborn kitten, laying with the cord still going inside her. And it wasn't moving. It was a stillborn, and she was trying to lick it and lick it and lick it to try and wake it up. So she wasn't pushing the placenta out for that kitten. She was too worried about waking it up. So I had to try and remove the kitten from her, and I had to pull the cord and the placenta out, which was, here's a photo of that kitten, and I'm gonna blur out the kitten because it is a little graphic. 20 minutes later, I walk by again, and there's 2 feet sticking out of her. And I'm like, holy shit, great, another dead kitten. Like, this is just not what I want right now. So then she's not pushing, the feet are just sticking out, so I'm like, it's gotta be dead, otherwise she would be actively pushing, trying to get it out. So I grab the feet to try and pull it out a little bit, and the feet kick. So I'm like, holy shit, this kitten is fucking alive. So I pull this kitten out, being very, very careful, and I pull the placenta out, and she's screaming, and it's a very horrible situation. We get him out, and here he is. Yeah, it was really unfortunate to lose that little girl, but I kind of saw it coming, you know, her being her first litter. It was very normal for cats to lose a kitten or 2 or fucking 3, because Lewis passed away at 2.5 weeks. We had to bury Lewis here. He got some upper respiratory infection that he just couldn't fight, and I didn't really know how to deal with at the time. So it was just not a very good situation, and we ended up, he was actually gonna be the one that we kept, because he was born in the closet. He was a fighter, you know, he had that backstory. He was just, we wanted a dark kitten to keep, and that was him, and we didn't get that. So we buried him at my parents' house underneath the tree that was planted when I was born. That was very sad. But moving forward, we just raised the kittens as best we could, and Samson ended up getting really sick. Same thing as what Lewis had, and he almost died. Here's a few pictures of him getting fluids and stuff. So I had to learn how to give IV fluids and give it to him under the skin because he would refuse to eat.
God, what a situation this has been.
Oh, did I mention that Valerie never ended up producing milk at all? So for the first 5 weeks, we were feeding every 3 hours, even through the night. And even still, at the end of the day, out of 6 kittens in total, we lost 3. So needless to say, it was quite the journey. And after all was said and done, we found Pearl a home. This is what she looked like, all grown up. And we found Samson a home. This is what he looked like, all grown up. And I actually know the people who got Samson, so I get to see updates of him rather frequently. So here's a few pictures of him now. He is so cute. And we did end up keeping one for ourselves, and that was the last one that was born, who I thought was dead, sticking out of Valerie, and we named him Patrick. And this is him. This is our Patrick. This is our fighter. He's a great kitty. So yeah, that was definitely a hard journey. Sometimes I think that I regret it, but I really did gain a lot of knowledge and experience when it happened. Calvin is now fixed, Valerie is on the road to getting fixed, and Patrick is getting fixed. Never again will I do that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, we won't be doing that ever again. We got a cute little bundle of joy out of it, a lot of knowledge and experience. And other than that, I don't want any part of doing it ever again. Well, I think that's just about it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified
Every time I post a new video.
Like, comment, view, share, and follow me everywhere. Bye guys.